Chosen one. Stop for a moment and listen closely. You are not here by accident, and you are not scrolling by chance. Heaven has stopped you because this message is divine, tailor-made for your spirit. You have been set apart, marked from birth with a seal that the world could not erase. Others may not understand why you never fit in, why your spirit could not settle for the ordinary. But the truth is this: you were chosen for something higher. And now, after the battles, the delays, the lonely nights, the silent tears that nobody saw but God, you are stepping into a reward that only heaven could design, a lifetime partner chosen for you. Every rejection you faced was not a sign of failure. It was heaven's way of guarding you. Every time someone walked away, every time you thought you had found the one, only for the relationship to break apart, it was heaven pulling you back into alignment. You were never abandoned. You were preserved. And now the announcement resounds over your life. You have won. Heaven is sending your lifetime partner. Scripture says in the Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 12, to all who received him, to those who believed in his holy name, he gave the right to become children of God, chosen one. You may have thought that love was not for you, that perhaps you were meant to walk this life alone, carrying your calling without companionship. But heaven says otherwise. You were designed for partnership, not isolation. The Father saw Adam and declared that it was not good for man to be alone. If Adam, who walked in direct communion with God, needed a partner, then you too are worthy of a God-sent companion, and not just anyone, your lifetime partner. Think of all you have overcome: the betrayals, the heartbreaks, the endless cycle of starting over. At times, you nearly gave up. You whispered prayers in the middle of the night, asking if God even heard you. And yet, heaven stored every tear, every prayer, every sigh of your heart. Nothing was wasted. Listen carefully. This is not about fairy tales. This is not about the world's version of love, shallow and fleeting. This is about covenant love, love that mirrors Christ and the church, love that endures storms, stands against opposition, and shines brighter with every trial. You are being positioned for a union that will terrify darkness. Why? Because two anointed ones together create a force that multiplies light. And so I tell you today, your search is not ending in disappointment. Your story is not going to close with loneliness. Heaven is sending your lifetime partner. It may not look the way you expect, and it may not come in the timing you imagined, but it is sure, and it is sealed. The delay has ended. The warfare has been overcome. You have been declared victorious, and your victory is about to take human form in the person heaven has chosen for you. Beloved, do not doubt. Do not let the enemy whisper lies that you are too late, too broken, or too unworthy. Heaven has written your story with divine ink, and no demon, no curse, no rejection can erase what has been written. Lift your head. Square your shoulders. Your crown has been secured. And now, your companion is being released into your life. If you feel this message stirring in your spirit, if you know it is for you, then let your faith rise. Step boldly into agreement with heaven, and, as a prophetic act, comment below the number 777, the number of divine completion and heavenly covenant. Let it be your declaration that you believe, you receive, and you are ready for the partner heaven has chosen for you. Like this message, share it with another chosen one, and subscribe so you never miss what heaven is speaking. This is your time. You are chosen. You are crowned. You have won. Chosen one. You have walked through a season that felt like endless waiting. The nights seemed longer. The days felt heavier. And your heart wondered if God had forgotten you. But heaven was not silent. Heaven was working behind the scenes, orchestrating what you could not see. The waiting was not wasted. It was warfare. Every delay you faced was not punishment, but preparation. You thought you were standing still, but in reality, you were being positioned. Think back on the times when relationships fell apart at the very last moment. It felt cruel. It felt as if the promise of love was dangled before you, only to be ripped away. Yet, those moments were divine shields, not divine silence. You were spared from counterfeits who would have drained your spirit, stolen your peace, and diverted your destiny. The waiting was not empty. It was the very battlefield where heaven fought to preserve your heart for the one God has chosen. There is a mystery in waiting. It strips you of illusions and makes you see what truly matters, while others rushed ahead, settling for less. You were held back. You cried. You asked why. You wrestled with loneliness. And yet you kept standing. That strength, that endurance, is not ordinary. It is the mark of the chosen. The fact that you did not give up, even when it felt unbearable, is proof that heaven had you surrounded. We find in the book of Philippians, chapter 4, verse 6, "Do not be anxious about anything at all. In everything, by prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your requests to God." This word has carried you more times than you realize. Every whispered prayer during your waiting was heard. Every time you thought your words fell into silence, heaven was recording them, storing them, and shaping them into the answer that is now on its way. Chosen one. You must understand that the waiting was not random. It was the very tool heaven used to strengthen you, refine you, and make you ready for a covenant that cannot be broken. If you had received your partner too early, you might not have recognized their value. If they had arrived before you healed, you might have pushed them away. But now, after the battles and tears, your spirit is matured. You are not entering this union as a fragile soul. You are entering as a warrior who knows the weight of love. The enemy tried to use your waiting season to plant doubt in your heart. He whispered that you were forgotten, that love was for others, not for you. But the fact that you are here, still believing, still holding on, is proof that his lies failed. Heaven used even the enemy's attacks to fortify you. Every delay became training. Every heartbreak became a lesson. Every lonely night became an altar where your faith was tested and strengthened. Now, when your partner comes, you will not take them for granted. You will cherish them deeply, because you know the cost of waiting. You will not confuse them with counterfeits, because you have seen the difference between what is shallow and what is divine. You will recognize the fragrance of heaven upon them, because you have spent years learning what does not carry that fragrance. The waiting was warfare, and you have come out victorious. You may not have realized it, but you were fighting battles in the unseen. Every no, every closed door, every failed relationship was heaven's sword striking down what was not meant for you. And now, because you endured, you are stepping into the yes of God. Chosen one, do not despise the waiting that brought you here. It was not wasted time, it was sacred preparation. Soon, you will look back and realize that every lonely night was paving the way for a love so radiant, so unshakable, that it could only come from heaven itself. Chosen one, as you have waited, there has been a covering upon your life. Heaven did not expose you recklessly. You were guarded, protected, and hidden. Even when it frustrated you, others seemed to find love easily, walking into relationships without effort, while your path was marked with delay after delay. This was not rejection, it was divine preservation. God knew what you carried, and He would not allow it to be placed in unworthy hands. You see, the enemy has always sought to intercept what heaven designed for you. Counterfeits were sent your way, smiling faces, smooth words, false promises, and for a moment, you thought some of them were the real thing. But when the mask slipped, their intentions were exposed. Instead of nurturing your destiny, they wanted to drain it. Instead of protecting your heart, they wanted to exploit it. That is why heaven intervened. You may not have understood why certain doors slammed shut, but those closed doors were divine shields. There were times you asked, "Lord, why me? Why must I be the one who waits?" But now, as you look back, you can see the fingerprints of God protecting you from what could have destroyed your spirit. Every time someone left, you were spared. Every time something collapsed, you were preserved. What the enemy designed as harm, heaven transformed into protection. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms, chapter 91, verse 4, "He will cover you with His feathers, and under His wings you will find refuge. His faithfulness will be your shield and rampart." This has been your testimony. Whether you saw it or not, you were hidden under His wings, kept in a place of safety until the right one could find you. Chosen one. This hiddenness was never about punishment. It was a strategy of love. Your light is too bright. Your calling too heavy. Your destiny too significant to be thrown into careless hands. Heaven guarded you because your story carries weight in the kingdom. That is why you could not settle. That is why your spirit felt restless in relationships that lacked divine confirmation. And here is the beauty: you are now entering a season where the hiddenness is lifting. What was once shielded is now being revealed. The right one is being drawn to you, not through human effort, but through divine orchestration. They will not stumble upon you by accident. They will recognize the fragrance of heaven on you, the light of God upon your life. And when they do, they will not exploit you. They will cover you. They will not compete with your calling. They will complement it. This is why your journey was different. You were not forgotten. You were guarded. You were not overlooked. You were preserved. The covering was for your protection, so that when the right time came, you could step into a love that aligns with your destiny. Now, chosen one, if this resonates in your spirit, I want you to act in faith. Write in the comments, "I am covered." Let this be your declaration, your agreement with heaven, your prophetic response. Because those words are not just about your past, they are a reminder of your present and a promise for your future. You were covered when the counterfeits tried to approach. You are covered now as you prepare for your covenant. and you will remain covered as your partner arrives. Sealed in the protection of God. Do not underestimate the power of agreement. When you write it, you are not typing empty words. You are declaring what heaven has already done. You are aligning yourself with the truth that God's faithfulness has shielded you, and His covering remains over your life. So let it echo from your spirit. I am covered. Chosen one. Every pain you endured was not random. It was prophecy in disguise. You thought the heartbreaks were simply cruel accidents, but each tear was sowing seeds into the soil of your future. Heaven does not waste suffering. Every lonely night, every unanswered question, every silent cry, all of it was shaping you into someone who could carry a covenant that will not break. You see, pain has a way of speaking a language deeper than words. When you wept, the heavens heard declarations. Your tears were not weakness, they were intercession. The weight of sorrow that pressed upon your heart was not meant to destroy you, but to push you into alignment with promises written over your life before you were born. What you lost was not the end of your story. What you endured was a prophecy that something greater must come. Think of Joseph, betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, imprisoned unjustly. His pain was not the end. It was prophecy pointing to the palace. In the same way, your heartbreak was never the conclusion. It was the evidence that heaven was preparing a restoration so complete it would silence every doubt and heal every wound. The pain you thought would break you was actually announcing the glory that is coming. As the prophet wrote in the scroll of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3, "For the vision is yet for the appointed time. It hastens toward the goal, and it will not fail. Though it tarries, wait for it will certainly come. It will not delay." This has been the hidden truth behind your suffering. What felt delayed was not denied. The very ache you carried was proof that a vision had been planted in your spirit, and heaven was waiting for the appointed time to fulfill it. Chosen one. Your tears were not invisible. They were collected, stored in heaven's treasury, marked as evidence of your faith. When you felt most broken, the heavens were closest. When you thought silence filled the room, angels were attending to your heart. Pain has been your teacher, and prophecy has been your companion. Now, the season of mourning is being transformed into a season of dancing. It is important that you see this clearly. The one God is sending is not coming to replace what was lost, but to fulfill what was promised. Restoration does not mean duplication. You are not going back to what once was. You are stepping into something entirely new, something purer, stronger, and lasting. That is why the pain was so deep, because the prophecy it carried was so great. Every rejection was prophecy that acceptance was coming. Every betrayal was prophecy that loyalty was on its way. Every season of emptiness was prophecy that fullness would overflow in your future. Do you see it now? The pain you felt was not meaningless. It was a divine echo, a foreshadow of the joy that heaven had already written into your story. Chosen one. Lift your eyes. The days of interpreting your past as loss are over. You must see it now as prophecy. You must embrace it as proof that heaven has never left your side. If you had not walked through the valley, you would not be ready to recognize the mountain. If you had not known heartbreak, you would not value covenant. If you had not wept, you would not treasure the laughter that is coming. So let the pain be redefined. It was prophecy, a divine signal pointing you forward. And now, the appointed time is approaching. Heaven has written restoration into your future, and no suffering you endured will be wasted. Chosen one. There is a crown that rests upon your head, a crown that was placed there not by men, not by circumstance, but by the very hand of heaven. This crown is not only the mark of your calling, but also the sign of your covenant. For what God has prepared for you is not just a mission, but a partnership. Your lifetime partner is part of your crown, part of your inheritance, and part of the destiny that has been written over your life. Many have tried to convince you that love is a distraction, that it is unnecessary for one who carries so much purpose. But heaven never designed you to walk alone. From the beginning, partnership was woven into creation. The covenant between you and your God-sent partner is not a side note. It is part of your divine script. Together, you will carry light into places that one alone could not reach. Together, your crown will shine brighter. Because covenant multiplie power, the word of God declares in the book of Psalms, chapter 8, verse 5, "You made them a little lower than the angels and crowned them with glory and honor." This is who you are, crowned with glory and honor, not by human approval, but by divine ordination. That crown includes love, destiny, and companionship forged by heaven itself. But remember this, not every relationship could ever carry that weight. That is why heaven closed so many doors, why it removed those who were never meant to walk with you. Your crown is not plastic. It is not temporary. It is eternal. It could never be placed into careless hands. The one who comes into your life now will not diminish your crown. They will protect it, polish it, and walk beside you as you both wear heaven's glory together. Chosen one. This is why the wait was so long. Heaven was not preparing just anyone. Your partner was being refined, just as you were. Your journeys may have been different, but your destinies were always moving toward one another. Soon, the paths will align, and you will know beyond doubt that this is the companion heaven has chosen. And let me speak to your spirit with truth. This crown does not just bless you, it blesses everyone who encounters you. Your union will not simply be about happiness, it will be about impact. It will be a light in a world of darkness, a testimony that God's promises are real, and that waiting on Him is never in vain. Beloved, if these words stir your soul, pause here, take a breath, let them sink deep into your heart. And if you feel the weight of this message, if you sense that this crown is indeed upon you, I invite you to engage with it. Share this word with another chosen one who may be doubting. Let it reach the weary, the waiting, the ones on the edge of giving up. Your sharing is not just a gesture, it is a seed that can awaken faith in another heart. And if you have not yet done so, subscribe and stay connected. This flow of heavenly reminders is not meant to be heard once and forgotten. It is a stream, a river, constantly refreshing your spirit. By staying connected, you are keeping yourself aligned with the very voice that heaven is using to remind you of who you are, crowned, chosen, and covered. Beloved chosen one, you are not empty. You are not forgotten. You wear a crown of covenant. And soon, the companion, ordained by heaven, will walk beside you. Carry your head high, for your crown is secure, and your story is only unfolding. Chosen one, let me tell you a truth that will lift the burden of doubt from your heart. The timing of heaven is never late. What you once called delay, what you thought was silence, has always been divine alignment. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. Every season you passed through has been necessary, and every pause has been part of heaven's orchestration. Think of it this way. Had your lifetime partner appeared too soon, you may not have been ready. The foundation of covenant requires strength, healing, and clarity. Heaven has been shaping you for love that lasts, not fleeting attraction, but a bond that reflects God's eternal nature. And just as you have been in preparation, so has your partner. They have walked their own road, fought their own battles, and endured their own refinements, so that when the appointed moment comes, you both will meet, not in brokenness, but in readiness. Heaven speaks clearly through the words in Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 9. Know therefore that the Lord your God is God. He is the faithful God, keeping his covenant of love to 1,000 generations of those who love him and keep his commandments. This is the foundation of your story. God has not only been faithful to you in the past, he is faithful now. Even in the timing of your union, his covenant love will never fail. Chosen one. Sometimes the waiting has felt unbearable. You have asked yourself why it has taken so long. You have compared your life to others and wondered if you were forgotten. But let me speak to your spirit. Delay is not denial. What looks like slowness in your eyes is precision in heaven's view. God has been aligning hearts, circumstances, and even geography, so that when you meet your partner, it will be undeniable that it was his hand at work. The beauty of divine timing is that it carries peace. When the counterfeit entered, confusion always followed. When the wrong one spoke, something unsettled stirred within you. But when the right one steps into your life, you will know. Peace will rest upon your spirit like a gentle wind. No striving, no forcing, no begging, only alignment. For heaven's timing is perfect, and his plans cannot be shaken. This is why you must not look back with regret. The wasted years are not wasted. They have been the soil in which faith has grown. They have been the classroom where you learned discernment. They have been the training ground that prepared you to recognize what is real. Now, when heaven sends your partner, you will not be swayed by appearances. You will be guided by confirmation. Chosen one. If these words speak to your spirit, I invite you to respond in faith. Write in the comments 888. This number is a prophetic symbol of new beginnings and divine order. When you declare it, you are stepping into alignment with heaven's timing over your life. You are proclaiming that you trust God's faithfulness and that you are ready to walk into the season he has appointed. Do not see this as just typing digits. It is a prophetic act, a way of saying, Lord, I trust your timing, and I will not doubt your alignment. Let your comment be a testimony that you believe the delay is over, and that the divine orchestration of heaven is now bringing your partner into view. Chosen one, the time is not far off. What heaven has aligned will soon unfold. Rest in the certainty that the faithful God who promised is the same God who delivers. Your waiting is becoming fulfillment, and your loneliness is becoming covenant. Chosen one. You must understand something vital. The love heaven is sending to you has always been under attack. The enemy has fought relentlessly to keep you from experiencing covenant partnership, because he knows what happens when two chosen ones join together. Darkness trembles when divine unions are formed. The enemy fears not just your light, but the multiplied power of two lights joined under heaven's covering. From the beginning, the adversary has tried to sow division. He whispered lies into your heart, convincing you that you were unworthy of love, that you were too broken, too late, too flawed. He brought counterfeits into your life, hoping you would settle for less and sabotage your destiny. He used betrayal to harden your heart, rejection to weaken your trust, and delay to crush your hope. But in all of this, heaven never stepped back. Every trap set against you was overturned. Every scheme to block your covenant has already failed. The apostle reminds us in his letter to the Corinthians, chapter 2, verse 9, "No eye has seen, no ear has heard, no human mind has conceived the things God has prepared for those who love him." The enemy cannot stop what he cannot even imagine. He never saw the fullness of what heaven had written for you. And that is why his attacks were so desperate. They were attempts to blind you before you could see the promise unfold. Chosen one, think of the battles you have fought. They were not random. They were targeted, designed to break your spirit before the covenant could manifest. The loneliness you felt was more than personal. It was warfare. The heartbreaks you endured were more than emotional. They were strategic strikes against your destiny. Yet, through it all, you remained. You stood. You continued to believe. Even when faith seemed impossible, that resilience was your weapon. Your persistence was your shield, and your tears became prayers that shattered the enemy's plans. Now understand this. The fact that you are still here means the enemy has already lost. If he could have destroyed you, he would have done it by now. But you are preserved. And because you are preserved, the covenant love that is on its way to you is preserved as well. The warfare could delay, but it could not destroy. The attacks could wound, but they could not cancel. Chosen one, your lifetime partner has also been fought for. Do not think you are the only one who endured. The one destined for you has faced their own trials, their own distractions, their own seasons of opposition. Heaven has been protecting them just as it has protected you, ensuring that when you finally meet, both of you are victorious warriors, not defeated victims. This is why the enemy trembles, because he knows that when you unite, you will not come together out of weakness, but out of strength. Your covenant will not be fragile, it will be fortified. It will not just survive storms, it will shine brighter because of them. The same battles that tried to destroy you will become testimonies that strengthen your bond. Chosen one, let this truth settle in your heart. The warfare over your love was never proof of absence, it was proof of importance. Heaven only fights for what carries eternal weight. That is why your union has been so fiercely contested, and that is why it is guaranteed to manifest. Chosen one, as heaven prepares to align you with your lifetime partner, you will not walk in confusion. There will be signs, confirmations, and whispers from heaven that reveal the one chosen for you. God is not a God of disorder. He is a God of clarity. And when it comes to something as sacred as covenant love, He will not leave you guessing. You may have experienced relationships in the past where you questioned constantly, is this the one? Should I stay? Should I leave? That cycle of uncertainty was not of God. Covenant love is marked by peace, not torment. It carries assurance, not anxiety. When the one heaven has chosen steps into your life, the noise of doubt will silence. and your spirit will rest. According to what is revealed in the book of Proverbs, chapter 20, verse 24, a person's steps are directed by the Lord. How then can anyone understand their own way? This means you do not have to rely on your own wisdom to identify your partner. The same God who has been directing your steps will also direct your recognition. Your heart will know what your mind cannot explain. Chosen one. There are certain ways heaven will confirm this person to you. First, there will be alignment with purpose. They will not pull you away from your calling. They will push you deeper into it. They will not be intimidated by your light. They will honor it. Their presence will not drain your energy, but will multiply your strength. Second, there will be confirmation through peace. The counterfeit always carried confusion. You felt the constant need to prove, to chase, to hold things together with your own strength. But when heaven sends the right one, the striving will end. You will feel peace in their presence, even in silence. Third, heaven often speaks through repeated signs, dreams, prophetic words, even unexpected confirmations through people who know nothing of your journey. These will appear. The same message will echo in different forms until it becomes undeniable. That is how heaven ensures you do not miss it. And fourth, your spirit will testify. You may not be able to explain it in words, but something deep within you will recognize them. It is not flesh calling to flesh, but spirit calling to spirit. It will feel like home, not because they are familiar, but because they are destined, chosen one. It is important that you remain watchful, but not fearful. Do not look for signs in desperation, and do not rush into covenant with assumptions. Heaven's confirmation is clear, steady, and undeniable. It does not whisper half-truths. It declares certainty. That is why discernment is so critical. Your waiting season was training for this moment, sharpening your ability to tell the difference between counterfeit distraction and divine alignment. The one chosen for you will not compete with your relationship with God. They will nurture it. They will not demand your crown. They will honor it. And when you stand together, the strength of your union will not only bless you, but will radiate outward, touching every part of your destiny. So prepare your heart. Chosen one, the signs will come. And when they do, you will not need to force understanding. You will recognize heaven's handwriting on your story, and you will know, this is the one, chosen one. As the hour of fulfillment draws near, you must guard your heart. This is the season when distractions will come the strongest. Old cycles may try to resurface. Past connections may attempt to re-enter your life. The enemy will whisper, take the shortcut. Settle for what is here, because he knows your promise is close. You cannot afford to open the wrong door now. Your heart is sacred ground. The years of waiting, the tears, the prayers, they have tilled the soil of your soul. To let just anyone walk back into your spirit is to risk contaminating the very garden heaven has prepared for covenant love to flourish. Guard it, protect it, and remember, not every hand deserves to hold your heart. It was proclaimed in the second letter to Timothy, chapter 1, verse 14. Guard the good deposit, entrusted to you. Guard it with the help of the Holy Spirit, who lives in us. This applies not only to your calling, but also to your covenant, your heart, your faith, your love. They are good deposits entrusted to you. The Spirit within you will strengthen you to protect what matters most. Chosen one. Guarding your heart does not mean building walls so high that no one can enter. It means exercising discernment, refusing to allow counterfeits to distract you, and staying aligned with heaven's whispers. Guarding your heart means saying no to what looks good, but does not carry God's signature. It means resisting the temptation to rush ahead of divine timing. There will be moments when loneliness tries to pull you backward. You may find yourself tempted to revisit what you once left behind. But remember, what God removed was never meant to return. If it truly belonged to your destiny, it would not have walked away. Guard your heart from the illusion of recycled pain, disguised as new opportunity. Chosen one, the one heaven is sending, will not pressure you into compromise. They will not demand that you diminish your light to make them comfortable. Instead, their presence will expand your capacity to shine. They will call forth the best in you, not the brokenness in you. That is how you will know the difference between distraction and destiny. So, be vigilant. Protect your spirit. Keep your focus. Because the closer you are to your lifetime partner, the more fiercely the enemy will attempt to distract you. But you are not defenseless. You are equipped with discernment, strengthened by wisdom, and guided by the Spirit of God. And now, beloved, I want you to respond with faith. Write in the comments, "I will guard." These 3 words are more than a statement. They are a commitment. When you declare them, you are affirming before heaven and earth that your heart will not be wasted on counterfeits, distractions, or old cycles. You are proclaiming that you are ready to protect what God has entrusted to you, so that when the true one arrives, you are prepared. Do not underestimate this act. Your words have power. By writing, "I will guard," you are drawing a line in the sand, rejecting distractions, and stepping into the clarity of your destiny. Let it be your prophetic shield as you wait with expectation. Chosen one, your heart is precious. Protect it, for soon it will be entrusted to the one who was always meant to hold it. Chosen one, you must realize that the love heaven is sending to you is not just for your comfort or happiness, it is for purpose. Covenant love is bigger than feelings. It is a divine assignment. Your union will carry weight in the kingdom. The 2 of you together will accomplish what neither of you could have fulfilled alone. That is why your lifetime partner is more than a blessing. They are a mission. From the very beginning, God designed partnership not only for companionship, but also for calling. Adam was given a mission before Eve arrived. But when she joined him, the mission expanded. She was not a distraction, she was a divine helper, completing what could not be finished alone. In the same way, your partner will not pull you away from your destiny, they will sharpen it. Together, you will carry assignments that disrupt darkness and establish light. The prophet Elijah reminds us through his story in the book of Kings. Chapter 19, verse 18. Yet I reserve 7,000 in all Israel still, whose knees have not bowed down before Baal, nor kissed him with lips, even in times when it seemed like the faithful were few. God always preserved a remnant. In the same way, He has preserved you and your partner, keeping you both from destruction, so that when you meet, your purpose will flow together as part of His remnant in this generation. Chosen one. This is why your love story will look different. It is not about simply building a life together. It is about building the kingdom together. You will pray together, war together, dream together, and step into assignments that carry eternal weight. The intimacy you share will overflow into influence, and your private covenant will become a public testimony of God's faithfulness. This is also why the warfare against you was so fierce. The enemy did not only fear your joy, he feared your impact. He knew that once you unite with your covenant partner, your combined strength would dismantle strongholds. He fought hard to delay you, discourage you, and even convince you to settle for less. But he has failed. You are still standing, and the one heaven has chosen is still being preserved for you. Chosen one. As you step into this season of divine partnership, lift your expectations higher. Do not settle for love without purpose. Do not believe the lie that passion is enough. You were made for covenant, and covenant is always connected to calling. Your love will not only bless your home, it will shift atmospheres, transform generations, and leave a mark on eternity. Now, if this word resonates with your spirit, let it echo beyond you. Share this message with another chosen one who needs to remember that love is more than romance, it is destiny. Your simple act of sharing could reignite hope in someone on the verge of giving up. And if you have not yet subscribed, stay connected here. These words of life are flowing for you, and each reminder builds your faith for what is unfolding. By subscribing, you are making sure you never miss the encouragement heaven is releasing over your journey. Beloved, like this word, if it touched your spirit, share it if you know someone else who needs this hope. And stay connected because your story is still being written. And heaven has more to reveal. Partnership is on its way, and purpose will be fulfilled. Chosen one. Before you step into the embrace of covenant love, heaven is doing something vital in you. It is healing your heart. The wounds of the past cannot be carried into your promised future. The scars of betrayal, the weight of rejection, the silent disappointments, all of them are being touched by the hand of God so that you may love freely again. It is easy to believe that time alone heals, but the truth is, only heaven's hand can fully restore what was broken. You tried to move on before, telling yourself the pain was gone. But deep inside, fragments remained. Those fragments whispered fears into your spirit. What if it happens again? What if I open my heart only to be hurt once more? Heaven knows these whispers, and that is why healing is happening now. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms, chapter 34, verse 18, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." This has been your reality. In the seasons where pain seemed unbearable, God was never distant. He was close, mending your spirit. Even when you felt abandoned, chosen one, healing does not erase memory, but it transforms pain into wisdom. What once triggered fear will now trigger discernment. What once caused bitterness will now produce compassion. Heaven is rewriting the meaning of your wounds. Instead of being reminders of failure, they will become testimonies of survival. Instead of chains, they will become keys that unlock empathy, strength, and a deeper understanding of love. You may wonder why heaven would heal you now, right before your lifetime partner arrives. The reason is clear. Love must flow from wholeness, not from brokenness. Without healing, old wounds bleed into new beginnings. Without restoration, covenant becomes burdened with fear. Heaven will not allow that for you. Your story will not be contaminated by the past. It will be purified by grace. Chosen one, let yourself receive this healing. Do not resist it. Sometimes we hold on to pain because it feels safer than vulnerability. But you were not designed to live behind walls. You were designed to love and be loved in freedom. Your lifetime partner is not coming to fix you. They are coming to walk with the healed version of you. That is why this work must be completed now. Understand this. Healing is also preparation. You are being prepared to give and receive love in ways you never imagined. Where you once hesitated, you will now trust. Where you once guarded excessively, you will now open. Where you once feared abandonment, you will now rest in security. Heaven is removing the shadows of the past so that your covenant can shine without hindrance. Chosen one, your healing is evidence of heaven's love for you. God would not send you into covenant carrying wounds that could destroy it. He loves you too much to let your promise be tainted. That is why you feel this process so deeply. Now it is divine surgery. Not to harm you, but to restore you fully. When the appointed one enters your life, you will not love them through the lens of pain, but through the clarity of healing. You will not project past betrayals onto them, but will see them for who they are. Heaven's gift, your partner in destiny. And in that moment, you will understand why the healing had to come first. Chosen one, heaven has never been silent about your destiny. The signs have been around you all along, quietly speaking, softly confirming, and powerfully pointing toward what is unfolding now as your lifetime partner draws closer. Prophetic signs will become undeniable. The dreams that repeat themselves, the numbers that appear in unexpected places, the conversations that align perfectly with what you've prayed in secret, all of these are heaven's way of whispering. The time is near. And you may have already noticed these patterns. Perhaps you've seen specific numbers over and over, not by coincidence, but by design. Perhaps your heart has stirred during a dream, so vivid it felt more real than waking life. Or maybe a stranger spoke words that pierced straight into your spirit, unknowingly confirming what you had just asked God about. None of this is random. It is heaven weaving confirmation into your path so you cannot miss what is coming. According to what is revealed in the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 6, in all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your paths straight. This is the foundation of prophetic confirmation. As you keep your focus on God, he directs your steps, and he uses signs both subtle and bold to guide you into the promise. Chosen one, heaven knows your heart longs for clarity. That is why confirmations will not be confusing. They will come in layers, repeating until you have peace. For example, you may encounter the same scripture multiple times from different sources, or you may hear a song that speaks directly into your spirit about what you are facing. The Spirit of God is intentional. He ensures that his children recognize his fingerprints. But remember this, signs are not meant to replace faith. They are meant to strengthen it. You are not called to chase after signs in desperation, but to recognize them with gratitude as they unfold. Your discernment, sharpened by waiting, will know the difference between random coincidences and divine orchestration. Chosen one, prophetic signs are not limited to your spirit. They can also manifest in the natural. Perhaps a door opens at the exact time you prayed for breakthrough. Perhaps an opportunity arises that aligns perfectly with the desires God planted in your heart. When these things happen, know that heaven is aligning your path with precision. And when it comes to your lifetime partner, heaven will not let you miss them. Signs will surround your meeting. Confirmation will echo in your heart. Peace will rest upon you. The very atmosphere will testify that this is more than chance, it is divine appointment. Now, if your spirit feels this truth, I invite you to respond in a prophetic act of faith. Write in the comments 444. This number represents stability, foundation, and divine establishment. When you declare it, you are agreeing with heaven's promise that your covenant is not a fleeting hope, it is being established on a firm foundation. Do not see this as typing digits casually. By writing 444, you are aligning yourself with the truth that heaven is laying a foundation beneath your feet, preparing the way for your partner to step into your life. You are declaring, I trust the signs. I trust the timing. I trust the God who confirms his word. Land, chosen one. The signs are speaking. Pay attention, for heaven is not silent. Every confirmation is guiding you closer to the love you were promised, the covenant you were chosen to carry, and the destiny you are about to fulfill. Chosen one, your spirit carries a light that cannot be hidden. This light is not of your own making. It is the imprint of heaven upon you. You may have noticed how some people are drawn to you without explanation, while others avoid you or even resent you. That is because the light within you is spiritual, and it awakens recognition in those around you. The one heaven has chosen for you will not be intimidated by this light. They will not shrink back or compete with it. Instead, they will recognize it immediately, not with their eyes alone, but with their spirit. Where others saw only your struggles, they will see your crown. Where others saw only your scars, they will see your strength. Their heart will be drawn to the divine glow that rests upon your life, because it mirrors the light that rests upon theirs. It is written in the book of Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 1, Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. This scripture is not just about a distant promise, it is about your present reality. The glory of the Lord rises upon you, and it is this very glory that will attract your lifetime partner, chosen one. You have already seen how your light unsettles darkness. Some people could not remain in your life because your presence exposed their intentions. Others rejected you because your purity reminded them of what they lacked. This has been painful, but it has also been protection. Heaven allowed your light to drive away what could not remain, ensuring that only the one who truly belongs in your story will recognize and honor it. Your partner will not only notice your light, they will cherish it. They will stand in awe of how God has preserved you through trials. They will encourage you to shine even brighter, never asking you to dim yourself to make them comfortable. And in their presence, you will recognize a reflection of your own light, for heaven has placed a matching glow within them. This recognition will not be based on appearance or status. It will not rely on surface impressions. It will come from a place deeper than the physical, from spirit to spirit. Just as a flame recognizes another flame, your spirit will recognize theirs. And when this happens, you will know that it is not coincidence. But divine connexion. Chosen one. The enemy tried to convince you that your light was a curse, that it made you too different, too misunderstood. But the truth is, Your light was never meant for everyone. It was meant for the one who was destined to walk with you. The recognition of that light is the very sign of covenant alignment. Do not be afraid of your brightness. Do not tone yourself down in fear of being too much. The one who is coming will not just tolerate your light, they will celebrate it. And together, the two of you will shine in a way that multiplies impact. Alone, your glow was strong, but united. Your combined light will pierce darkness in ways the enemy dreads. Chosen one, your glow is not random. It is heaven's signature, the very mark that will guide your partner to you. And when they see it, they will know, this is the one, chosen one. The mystery of covenant love is this: when heaven ordains it, two truly become one. This is not just poetry or symbolism, it is a spiritual reality. The union heaven is preparing for you is not about two lives running parallel, but about two destinies merging into one divine flow. From the beginning, God spoke of this mystery as it is written in the book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 24. That is why a man leaves his father and mother and is united to his wife, and they become one flesh. This was not simply a description of marriage, it was a revelation of how covenant transforms individuals into something greater together than they could ever be apart. Chosen one. When your lifetime partner arrives, you will feel this truth unfold in real time. It will not feel like losing yourself. It will feel like finding the rest of yourself. The areas where you have been strong will balance the areas where they have been weak, and vice versa. Where you once carried burdens alone, you will now share the weight, and where you once dreamed in silence, you will now dream together. The power of two becoming one is that your prayers will no longer rise alone. Heaven hears the voice of covenant differently. When two chosen ones agree in spirit, the authority released is multiplied. Your worship will carry more weight. Your declarations will pierce deeper, and your intercession will reach higher. Together, you will not just walk in agreement, you will walk in multiplied anointing. Chosen one. This union will also bring peace into your life in ways you have never known. The restlessness that haunted you in past connections will no longer exist. The striving that drained your energy will disappear. When the right one stands beside you, peace will mark every step. That peace is the sign of covenant alignment. It cannot be manufactured, and it cannot be faked. But beyond peace, there will also be purpose. The two of you will discover that your callings intertwine like threads woven into one fabric. What once felt like incomplete assignments will suddenly make sense, because the missing piece has arrived. The partnership will not distract you from your mission, it will propel you further into it. You will be able to do together what neither of you could have done alone. Chosen one. The world may not understand this type of love. They will see the closeness, but not recognize the covenant. They may call it luck, timing, or chemistry. But you will know it is none of those. You will know it is heaven's orchestration, the fulfillment of prayers whispered through tears. The manifestation of promises written long ago. Do not be surprised if your union draws attention, both good and bad. Some will be inspired by your story, others may envy it. But remember this, your covenant was not created for approval. It was created for impact. The two of you together will carry a testimony that glorifies God and terrifies darkness. Chosen one. When two become one under heaven's covering, nothing can stand against them. You are being prepared for that kind of union. not fragile, not temporary, but eternal in purpose and radiant in strength. Soon, you will know what it truly means to walk as one, chosen one. You must know this truth deep in your spirit, no matter how fierce the battle, no matter how loud the opposition. No force of darkness can interfere with what heaven has ordained for you. The arrival of your lifetime partner is sealed. It cannot be undone. It cannot be stolen. And it cannot be delayed beyond heaven's appointed time. The enemy has tried endlessly to weave fear into your heart. He has whispered, "What if it never happens? What if you are forgotten? What if you are left behind?" But these lies crumble under the weight of God's promises. For what heaven seals cannot be broken by human hands or demonic schemes. Your covenant is under divine protection, guarded by angels, and covered in the blood of the Lamb. The Apostle Paul declared in his letter to the Romans, chapter 8, verse 31, "If God is for us, who can be against us?" This is not just a verse to comfort you, it is a battle cry over your destiny. If God is on your side, then every plot against your covenant is already defeated. Chosen one. Think back on your journey. The attacks were many. The delays were long. The heartbreaks were deep. Yet here you are, still standing, still believing, still chosen. This is proof that the enemy cannot destroy what heaven preserves. He may have tried to distract you with counterfeits, but they could not last. He may have tried to break your trust, but your faith endured. He may have tried to silence your hope, but your spirit still rises. That resilience is not human strength alone, it is heaven's hand upon you. Your partner, too, has been protected. They have walked through battles you do not yet know, and heaven has covered them as it covered you. When the two of you come together, you will carry testimonies of survival, not by chance, but by divine preservation, and your covenant will shine as proof that no weapon formed against you has prospered. Below, chosen one. If this word is stirring in your heart, let your response echo. Share this message with others who need to remember that heaven's promises cannot be cancelled. You never know whose faith you might reignite with one simple act of sharing, like this message, if it resonates with your spirit. Your agreement is more than a click. It is a declaration that you stand firm in faith, that you believe the interference has failed, and that you know your covenant is secure. Comment below as a prophetic response. I choose my crown. These words carry weight. They are not just a phrase, they are your declaration that you will not let fear steal your inheritance. You are choosing faith over doubt, destiny over delay, and covenant over counterfeit. By writing it, you align yourself once more with heaven's decree. And if you have not yet subscribed, I encourage you to stay connected. These messages are flowing as rivers of living water, designed to strengthen you in your journey. Subscribing keeps you aligned, so that each new word reaches you right on time, just as this one has. Chosen one. Stand firm. No enemy can interfere. No darkness can prevail. And no curse can break what heaven has already written. Your covenant is preserved. Your love is protected. And your crown is secure. Chosen one. You are now stepping into the unfolding of fulfillment. What you once only carried as promise, whispered to you in prayer and dream, is about to take form in your reality. The words that felt distant, the visions that seemed far away, the hope you once struggled to hold on to, They are all converging into manifestation. You are no longer waiting in vain. You are walking into the fulfillment of what heaven declared long ago. It can feel surreal at first, when something you prayed for over years suddenly approaches. The human heart almost resists believing it. You may ask, is this really happening? Can it truly be mine? That hesitation does not mean doubt has won. It means your spirit is adjusting to the magnitude of what is arriving. The very size of the blessing feels overwhelming, but that is how you know it is heaven's doing. Heaven speaks clearly through the writings of David in the Psalms. Chapter 37, verse 4. Delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart. Notice this truth. The desires of your heart are not random impulses. They were planted there by God Himself. That longing for covenant love was never weakness, it was prophecy. That ache in your soul for companionship was not desperation, it was destiny. Heaven placed those desires in you so that when the time came, their fulfillment would glorify Him. Chosen one. Fulfillment does not erase the memory of the struggle, but it redeems it. The tears you cried will become reminders of how faithful God has been. The nights you questioned, if you were forgotten, will become testimonies of how closely He was watching. Every disappointment, every heartbreak, every rejection will lose its sting, because the promise in front of you will overshadow the pain behind you. Do not be surprised if fulfillment arrives quietly. The world expects fireworks, but heaven often works in whispers. A simple meeting, a small conversation, a moment that seems ordinary may carry eternal weight. What begins with gentleness will grow into greatness, because heaven is not rushing it, is establishing. Chosen one. As you step into this season, remember that fulfillment is not just for you. Your story will become a light to others still waiting. The way God brings your covenant together will inspire faith in those who have almost given up. Your union will carry the fragrance of hope, and those who see it will know. Waiting on God is never wasted. But also be aware, fulfillment requires stewardship. The arrival of your lifetime partner is not the end of the journey. It is the beginning of a new one. Covenant is not maintained by emotions alone. It is sustained by commitment, prayer, and unity. Heaven is entrusting you with a living promise, and your role is to protect it, nurture it, and honor it daily. Chosen one. Lift your eyes with confidence. You are not standing in endless waiting anymore. You are crossing into manifestation. The clouds of doubt are parting. The light of fulfillment is breaking through. And the vision, once written in heavenly ink, is being etched into your life. This is your season of arrival. What was prophesied is now becoming present. What was longed for is now being lived. And as you walk into it, you will realize every battle was worth it. Every delay had purpose, and every tear was part of a greater design. Chosen one. Fulfillment is not coming. Fulfillment is here. Chosen one. Your story does not close with emptiness. It does not end in loneliness. From the beginning, heaven wrote a different ending for you, one sealed with love, crowned with covenant, and overflowing with divine joy. What once looked like a lifetime of waiting is now being revealed as a lifetime of preparation, all leading to this moment, the union heaven has destined for you. There is a beauty in knowing that your love story is not manufactured by human effort, but orchestrated by divine design. You did not stumble here by accident. Every detour, every delay, every closed door has guided you into alignment with what God had already chosen. And now, the one who has been prepared for you is stepping into your life, not as a temporary companion, but as a lifetime partner sealed by heaven, chosen one. This moment carries the weight of eternity, because what you are stepping into is more than a relationship. It is a covenant written in the very heart of God. The years you thought were wasted have been turned into a foundation of strength. The nights of sorrow have become seeds of joy. Every prayer you whispered when no one heard has been answered in fullness. Now heaven unfolds the chapter where love is no longer a promise deferred, but a reality embraced. The Word of God declares in the book of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 8, I have placed before you an open door that no one can shut. This is your covenant. The door to your lifetime partner is not one that can be closed by fear, envy, or spiritual attack. Heaven has opened it, and it will remain open until you walk through it. Chosen one, your future is not uncertain. It is already secured in the heart of God. Your union will not be fragile, it will be fortified by grace. It will not simply be about the two of you finding comfort. It will be about both of you stepping into greater strength, greater purpose, and greater joy. Together, you will mirror the unshakable love of Christ, showing the world that covenant is real, lasting, and holy. The loneliness you endured will fade in the light of this companionship. The rejection you carried will lose its power as acceptance floods your soul. The heartbreaks of the past will no longer define you, because heaven's promise will stand before you in living form. You will realize that every sorrow was not wasted. It was preparing you to receive love with gratitude and to honor it with faithfulness. Chosen one, you are not stepping into a fragile ending, but into an eternal beginning. Your covenant will mark the start of a new chapter, not only for your life, but for your destiny. Together with your partner, you will create an atmosphere of peace, a sanctuary of love, and a testimony of faith. Generations will be touched because you endured, because you believed, and because you trusted that heaven's timing was perfect. Lift your heart with confidence. You are crowned not only with calling, but also with covenant. Your journey was never meant to conclude with despair. It was always destined to end in love. Heaven has written it, sealed it, and now heaven has fulfilled it. Beloved chosen one, your story is complete. You have won. And your crown is no longer just a symbol of survival, it is a testimony of eternal love. Chosen one, as this journey comes to a close, let your heart rejoice. You have walked through valleys, endured battles, carried tears, and still you stand crowned with covenant and love. This word was not released to entertain you, but to remind you that your story is alive in the hands of God. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. Heaven's promises are unfolding, and your lifetime partner is part of the fulfillment written for you. If this message has touched your spirit, I invite you to let it echo beyond you. Like this word, not just as a click, but as an act of agreement, saying, yes, I receive what heaven has spoken. Share it with someone who is weary, someone who has almost given up. You never know how your small act of sharing can reignite faith in another soul. And take a moment to write in the comments. Your words carry power, and your response becomes a declaration, whether it's "I believe," "I receive," or simply a heart lifted in gratitude. Your comment becomes a testimony that heaven has spoken into your life today. If you have not yet subscribed, stay connected. This flow of prophetic words, encouragement, and divine reminders is a stream of living water meant to strengthen you in every season. By subscribing, you are choosing to remain aligned, to never miss the encouragement heaven is sending your way. Beloved, remember always, you are chosen, you are crowned, and your story ends not in loneliness, but in love. Let your heart rest in that truth. Your best days are ahead, and heaven has already declared you have won.